Tune in Saturdays at 1 p.m. for the Your Body is Your Pharmacy radio show. Hear from the doctors that were among the first in the U.S. to merge the ancient wisdom of Ayurveda and natural medicines with the advances of modern medical science. Listen to pioneer doctors Virender Sodhi, Shailender, and Anju Sodhi to keep up with some of the latest medical advances and learn from some of the true leaders of Ayurvedic medicines every Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. with the Your Body is Your Pharmacy radio show on Desi 1250 a.m. Radio that listens to you. Are you looking for quality Ayurvedic and naturopathic treatments for your chronic issues? We offer a holistic, wholesome approach to living with chronic diseases. Call us at 425-453-8022 for more information. If you or someone you know is diagnosed with cancer and is interested in adjunctive holistic approach, please come and meet our doctors at Ayurvedic and Naturopathic Medical Clinic or call us at 425-453-8022. That's 425-453-8022. Panchkarma detox treatments are a great way to utilize natural healing mechanisms of the body. Our clinic in Bellevue, Washington offers over 36 years experience in Ayurvedic treatment. Call us for more information about our Panchkarma treatments at 425-453-8022. That's 425-453-8022. If you're suffering with diabetes, heart disease, hormonal issues, digestive issues, and other chronic health issues, we offer comprehensive Ayurvedic and naturopathic treatments to reverse your diseases. Call us at 425-453-8022 for more information.
Hi folks, this is Dr. Virender Sodhi, and as you know, my program Your Body is Your Natural Pharmacy, where I teach you that our body has full capacity to heal ourselves. But what stops the healing is our mental and emotional stuff, our physical condition, our spiritual conditioning. And if you're not eating right kind of nutrition, you will have a disease. Today we have a very interesting topic, and the topic is about insomnia. A lot of people out there suffer with insomnia. And so I'm going to shed some light on what insomnia is and what kind of insomnia is there, and what is the drug treatment doing to this insomnia. Does it helping it or is it making it worse? Then we will go into what you can do, what modalities you have to help this insomnia. And we'll also talk about the natural sleep state and what different stages of sleeps are there, and what kind of herbs you can help to get your insomnia under control, what kind of things you need to do. As I always say, is that drug or herb is not going to fix it 100%. So that is only 25%. So 75% is within us. And that depends upon what kind of attitude we have. Are we just looking for a pill model or a herb model to fix it? If you're just looking for just like a magic bullet, there's no magic bullet. You have to work. If you have a condition, if you have a health condition, or if you have any health shortcoming, you have to work on it to overcome that. For example, if you break your leg or your arm, you're going to be in the cast for 6 weeks at least. And then after 6 weeks, you need another 6 weeks to 3 months of physical therapy to come out of that trauma. So a lot of times we get very upset very quickly. Okay, it's not working, and we give a couple of days, 2-3 days to fix it. And if it doesn't fix it, it's not working, and that's not true. So basically, we all can help our system. So what do you have to look at it? What is the root cause of it? What is causing it? And so insomnia is caused by a lot of psychiatric issues and some medical conditions, and also unhealthy sleeping habits. So I jokingly tell my patients that Tom Edison discovered the bulb, the light bulb, but he also messed up our society too, because what happened once we start to look at these lights, which is very shiny, and it keeps us awake at night. And if you look at the Mother Nature, all the animals, especially the nocturnal animals who are there in the daytime, they go to sleep by the sun goes down, and they are up when the sun is up. So we have messed up that cycle. So we have done to ourselves. we've created a big imbalance in our normal sleep and wake cycle. And interestingly, because this is more interesting recently, there is a research published that the scientists are thinking that it is a switch in our body which is on and off, and we go into sleep cycle and we go into wake cycle. And when that rhythm of the normal sleep and wake cycle get disrupted, then we have a problem. And so you can see that we are also part of the cause here. We are creating problems for ourselves because we are not going to the bed at proper times. All our computers, your televisions, your cell phones, they all have added on to the trouble, because what it does, it stimulates your melatonin, your cortisol secretions, and suppresses your melatonin secretions in the body. And we need naturally to have our melatonin secretion. So if you look at the normal wake and sleep cycle, it's very interesting. As the night progresses, we are progressively increasing more melatonin, and the cortisol levels are dropped down to a bare minimum. And as the cortisol drops, the melatonin kicks in. And when the melatonin kicks in, we get into a deep sleep. But if you are watching at the screens of your cell phone, now lots of jokes about these social media platforms like WhatsApp and so many others, which people are getting addicted to it. And so what you're doing is you're disturbing your sleep pattern, and you're not going to have a quality sleep. So I think what I'm saying is we have also done to ourselves this insomnia problem. There is around 9 million US population which suffers with the insomnia on a daily basis. So you can see a lot of people out there. And usually, some people have a short-term 30 to 35% for brief symptoms, and then it disappears. And 15 to 20% will have a short-term insomnia disorder, which will be less than 3 months, and people will go back to the normal sleep. But 10% of these patients will get stuck with the chronic, and they will have 3 times a week episodes more than 3 months. And these are called chronic insomnics. So when you don't sleep properly, naturally you get fatigue, you have a hard time focusing, you get a poor memory, you get mood disturbance, you get sleep in the daytime, you have a low energy and motivation is gone, and increased errors like in accidents and type of stuff. You all remember last time I did a show on narcotics and about how the legend golf player Tiger Woods got into trouble because he mixed the codeine with the benzodiazepine drugs, and those two drugs kind of created his accident, and which led to the arrest. So you can see that messes up our system too. So the insomnias are many kind. Acute insomnia, usually we have it when we have a kind of very stressful situation going on, like if somebody loses a job, or somebody has a breakup with the relationship, or somebody has a bad news, some death happens in the family. Are you traveling? Like when I go to India, there is a 12 and a half hours of difference. But it usually resolves within few days, and people go back to the normal routine again and get adapted, and the people are okay. Then chronic insomnia is the long-term pattern where more than 3 months you still have that issue with the sleeplessness more than 3 days per week. So that is called the chronic insomnia. And then there is the comorbid insomnia, which means the insomnia occurs with other diseases, like, for example, anxiety and depression. It's very, very common part of insomnia too. So then there is a insomnia which is called onset insomnia. In this insomnia, people has a hard time falling asleep. So they can't fall asleep, and they, something is going on their brain, or something is got stuck in there, and they have a hard time falling asleep. Then there is a maintenance insomnia, means people will fall asleep okay, but then they wake up in between and have a difficult time going back to sleep. So this is, the different kind of insomnia. There are a lot of medical conditions which can also cause insomnia. For example, if you have a nasal allergies or sinus, because your nose gets stuffed up and you can't breathe properly, so you go on waking up again and again. Gastrointestinal reflux disease, which is also called GERD, because what happens when you get a pain in your tummy and you wake up and you're not able to sleep. Hyperthyroidism, where the thyroid function is over functioning. So what it does, it actually make your heart palpitate more, and you are not able to sleep because you have a constant palpitation. People with arthritis, because of the pain, they can't sleep. Asthma, I used to have asthma myself, and I remember many times waking up at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning with asthma attacks. Thank God to my yoga practices and my herbs, I have not have any asthma attack for the last 30 some years. And not only that, many of my patients has the same kind of benefits by using the natural medicines, Ayurvedic medicine, and following the routine on the nutrition and the exercise program, and especially yoga. Certain diseases like Parkinson disease, people has chronic pain, low back or injury. There's surgical issues where people has surgeries done, and after surgery is done, but they still have low back. So there are many reasons when people get problem with insomnia. By the way, the folks, if you have any questions, you guys can call me at 844-301-1250. Again, the number is 844-301-1250. And if you want to come for our yoga and International Yoga Day celebration, this is going to be next Saturday, June 17th at Bellevue, North Bellevue Community Center from 11 to 3:30. And there'll be food, there'll be lectures about yoga, food. Rekha is doing demonstration on the cooking, how to make a faster, healthier food. This is one of the very common problem. People said, I don't have time. So she's going to bring some wonderful Pandora of her tricks for you guys to show how you can cook very, very fast. I'll be talking about yoga. Dr. Anju and Dr. Shrinder are talking about nutrition, the roles of nutrition. So there's, wonderful small lectures. They're not very long, around half an hour each, to give you wonderful tips. The idea here is to provide you wonderful tips. So come on here on June 17, 11 to 3:30 p.m. North Bellevue Community Center, and you can call our office at 425-453-8022 if you have questions or you want to join in there. The number again, clinic number is 425-453-8022. So that's about the plug for the International Yoga Day celebration. There are many medications which can also cause insomnia, and number one is alpha blockers. These alpha blockers are given for benign prostate hypertrophy. As the folks get older, the males, they have a hard time passing the urine. So this medication, what it does, it relaxes the muscles in the urethra, and so they can have a flow of urine properly. Drugs like Cardura, very commonly used, is called Flomax, Hytrain. So these are the most common prescribed medicine for benign prostate hypertrophy, and these are alpha blockers. So what they do, when they're blocking your alpha receptors, so they also reducing your rapid eye movement sleep, which is called REM sleep. And when you reducing it, so you're going to be feeling, in the daytime, you'll be sleepy. And so when you sleep in the daytime, you're not going to have a good sleep at night. So you can see that, these drugs can also have interference. Beta blockers, very common blood pressure pills like Coreg and Toprol, and there is so many other Indrols. So basically what they do, they are have a similar kind of issue because they stop the secretions of melatonin in our body. Melatonin is our naturally produced sleep medicine by the body to promote healing as well as deep state of relaxation. So when your melatonin is not there, you're not going to sleep properly. The third culprit, the major cause of insomnia among the drug is steroids, like prednisolone, hydrocortisone. What they are, they just dysfunction. They create dysfunction of the adrenal glands. And when the adrenal glands are not properly functioning, we people cannot sleep. I had patients who have come to my clinic and said, Dr. Sodhi, I had asthma attack and I went into emergency in the middle of night. They gave me shot of prednisone, and after the prednisone, I've never been able to sleep back again because it maladapted your adrenal gland, which also make your steroid got maladapted. There are another common drug which is antidepressant drugs, which is SSRI or serotonin reuptake inhibitors. Those drugs like Celexa, Lexapro, Prozac, you heard all those names, Paxil, Zoloft, kind of stuff. So what this actually, we don't know how it works, but it causes like agitation, insomnia, and tremors. So, and people are impulsive when people are on these drugs. So this is also one other reason, which is very commonly prescribed drugs for depression, causes insomnia. The another class of drug are ACE inhibitors. So this is another very common prescription for blood pressure, and like Lotensin, Anapril, Monopril, all those kind of drugs are given to lower your blood pressure. And so what this does, it actually increases the levels of bradykinin, which is a special kind of hormone, which which relaxes the blood vessels. So what that does, it causes the dry and hacking cough in majority of the patient, and so they cannot sleep because, and also causes diarrhea and leg cramps, achy joints, bones and muscle pain, so which actually disturb the sleep pattern. So you can see a lot of these drugs, which are very, very commonly prescribed, can also cause insomnia too. So then another class of drug which causes the insomnia is angiotensin second receptor blocker, so which are commonly called ARBs. So ARBS. And what these drugs are, like Diavon, which is very commonly prescribed, Mircardis, Atacand. So these drugs, what they do, they actually overload you with potassium and causing diarrhea and leg cramps and achy joints and bones again. So, these all you can see that has some kind of mechanism out there which is causing the insomnia. Another class of drug which can also create insomnia is a cholinesterase inhibitor, which is given for Alzheimer's disease. The another one which is also very commonly used is a anti-allergic drugs like Loratadine, Allegra, Zyrtec, and what they do, they actually block the acetylcholine, which is a neurotransmitter and which causes the anxiety and insomnia. So basically, it increases the acetylcholine in us and causes the anxiety and insomnia. Some people say the glucosamine also, which is another very commonly prescribed, not prescribed, but over-the-counter used for arthritis and pain, causes the problem with insomnia too. And another class of drug which causes the insomnia is statin drugs. So I have brought the 10 big ones, but there are others too. But these are the very commonly prescribed 10 big groups of medicine which causes the insomnia. And the statin, basically, what it does, it actually interferes with the metabolism of the muscles and cause body aches and pains, and people can't able to sleep. The most common symptom is leg pain or muscle pain, with these statin drugs. And then there are other underlying causes which can also cause the sleep disorders like restless leg syndrome, sleep apnea. There is also the insomnia and depression, anxiety. We talked about that already. Can also cause the problem there too. So now you know that the drugs, which we have talked about, can cause the problem too. But it's also a psychiatric issue. It can be also a medical condition. And so does the drug treatment has helped us to heal the insomnia? The answer is no. And actually it's very scary. If you look at the studies, I have read so many studies. I think there is more than now 30 published data available on the different sleeping pills and what they have done to people. Except for one study, most of the studies shows when you take a sleeping pill, like even small amount, so I'm talking about per year, if you take a half pill to 18 pill a year, I'm not talking about a month, by the way, a year, half pill to 18 pills a year, your chances of dying prematurely increases 3.6 times. Listen to this carefully. If you take half pill to 18 pills, so this pills also includes like Benadryl, over-the-counter drug, which is used for allergies, and also a lot of people use that PM kind of medicine to promote sleep. And the statistics is about the Ambien, Sonata, benzodiazepines, lorazepams, all those different medication which are used for sleep promotion. And if you take 18 to 132 pill a year, again, your chances of dying prematurely increases more, up to 4.6 times. And if you take more than 132 pills a year, so which is like every third day you took a one pill, your chances of getting prematurely death is 5.3. So you can see the drugs has a very horrendous, actually, maybe more side effect of. You may get a little sleep, but you will die prematurely. And I think the option is ours if we want to really die prematurely or do something else to help the whole process there. And if that is not enough, also the incidence of cancer has increased when people were taking sleeping pills. And especially on the higher end of sleeping pills, when people were using 132 tablets a year of these sleeping aids, their chances of getting the cancer increased almost 35%. So you can see this drug treatment has not helped us at all. Basically, we have created more problems with the premature deaths and even increasing more cancer. So you can see that these drugs are not helping the whole process, and there's a lot of other side effects of these prescription drugs, especially Lunesta, Sonata, Ambien, Halcyon, which is very commonly used. They cause burning and tingling, changes in the appetite, constipation, diarrhea, dizziness, daytime drowsiness, dry mouth, gas, headache, heartburn, all those, and even unusual kind of dreams. People have dreams which are like a weird dreams comes with these things too. So what is sleep? Sleep is a very natural phenomenon for all of us. And we have to sleep at night time to promote the healing mechanism in us. And a lot of times I tell my patient jokingly, say, we are not from the owl family, because owls are out at night. But we are not. We are supposed to sleep as the sun goes down. We are supposed to get up when the sun comes up. So basically, sleep is a game of neurotransmitters, and which makes us go to sleep or wake up. So I think when we mess up that switches of the neurotransmitters, we are causing a problem and the chemical imbalance, and we're causing insomnia. Research suggests that there is a chemical called adenosine, which is an amino acid built up in blood when we are awake and causes us to be drowsy. So a lot of times when we are by the end of the day, when we're winding down, we start to feel drowsy. And that drowsiness is important for us to go to the sleep. The sleep goes through many different phases. So we have there's a step 1 or stage 1, then there's a stage 2, stage 3 and 4, and then there's called rapid eye movement sleep. So during the stage 1, we are in very light sleep, just like when you're falling asleep. If somebody awakens, you can really quickly awake, but you don't remember anything, so you kind of forget about it. And in this sleep phase, you also get sometimes like myoclonic jerk, like all of a sudden your knee or your foot will jerk, and that's normal, nothing to be worried about it. But some people this is on the extreme end, then this causes the interfere with the sleep too. Then we slip into the stage 2 sleep, and our eye movements start to stop, brain waves start to slow down, and the body goes into stage 3 and stage 4. In stage 3, we go into slow brain wave, which is called delta waves, and it start to bring up here. This is I'm talking about when you're measuring through the EEG, electroencephalograph, and by the stage 4, the brain produces delta waves almost exclusively. So delta waves are considered deep sleep, and it actually helps to promote healing in our body. And if you're not getting delta sleep, most of us will not heal properly. And that's the reason why people, when they have insomnia, will not heal and die prematurely. So you can imagine that why it's so important for us to have all these stages of different sleep, because this has a very healing properties for us. So I'm going to come back after the short break here. If you have any question, you guys can call me at 844-301-1250. And we also talked about the June 17th. We have this wonderful International Yoga Day celebration where we'll be talking about yoga and Ayurveda. And we have some exciting lectures. And I think the most exciting is Rekha is doing a cooking not demonstration, but cooking methods where you can quickly cook your food in 5 to 10 minute recipes, and a very, very healthy recipe, so you can stay on top of your health. So we'll be back after the short break here.
If you're suffering with diabetes, heart disease, hormonal issues, digestive issues, and other chronic health issues, we offer comprehensive Ayurvedic and naturopathic treatments to reverse your diseases. Call us at 425-453-8022 for more information. Panchkarma detox treatments are a great way to utilize natural healing mechanisms of the body. Our clinic in Bellevue, Washington offers over 36 years experience in Ayurvedic treatment. Call us for more information about our Panchkarma treatments at 425-453-8022. That's 425-453-8022. If you or someone you know is diagnosed with cancer and is interested in adjunctive holistic approach, please come and meet our doctors at Ayurvedic and Naturopathic Medical Clinic or call us at 425-453-8022. That's 425-453-8022. Are you looking for quality Ayurvedic and naturopathic treatments for your chronic issues? We offer a holistic, wholesome approach to living with chronic diseases. Call us at 425-453-8022 for more information.
So, folks, I'm back, and we're talking about insomnia today, and it's a very huge topic. Like more than 10% population of the U.S. suffers with insomnia, and some of that we have created for ourselves by our own faults. And if we don't correct those faults, we're not going to get better. So how many hours of sleep we do really need? This is a good question. There's a lot of studies published on that one too. But I think anywhere between 6 to 8 hours of sleep, different people will need different kind of sleep. Some people get by just sleeping 5 to 6 hours. I think one of them is our Prime Minister of India, Mr. Modi, who is supposedly take 5 hours of sleep at night, but he also does yoga, and he also does pranayam and meditation. And so these things can also help to substitute, because if you can achieve that relaxation, meditation actually is a very wonderful key, and it actually get the similar kind of results as in the deep sleep. So, but we are all different. In Ayurvedic medicine, we say Vata people, they need around at least 6 hours of sleep. So Vata people who are very jumpy, very ongoing, go. They have a hard time stopping. There's a zillions of ideas they have in their brains, and they tend to be on a dry side. Their skin is dry. They have a constipation history. They don't urinate very properly, and they also are prone to more insomnia. Then Pitta body type, which is a go-getter, overachiever kind of personality, they have a fast metabolism, or on the heat side, they need around 7 hours of sleep. And then the Kapha guy, who's a kind of slow, sluggish, loving, hugging, cuddling kind of personality, who loves to eat and move the button from his hand rather than walking, need around 8 hours of sleep. So we can see different personalities of body types will need different kind of sleep. So what need to do to promote a good, healthier sleep? So this is, in our hands, as I said earlier, because if we don't do the sleep hygiene, the sleeping pills, as I said earlier, is not going to fix the problem. And a lot of times it is you have some emotional stuff going on. And if you don't deal with that emotional or mental stuff, you're not going to sleep properly. So again, looking at the cause, what is causing my insomnia is very important here. And I'm not asking you to take your sleeping pill off today and then switching on to the natural herb, because that may not work either. You may have to do slowly, because a lot of these drugs are also very addictive. So if you don't, if you stop it today, and you may have a trouble in your hands too. So I think always, whenever you're taking any drug or you're getting off any drug, it's a wonderfully important to talk to your physician who has prescribed it and discuss it very openly what you want to do. I think especially in Washington State, people are more aware of the natural medicine. There is a more openness about it. Even the medical community know, but previously when I started practice, a lot of people used to don't tell their medical physician, that they're taking a supplement or herb, which is not good, because yes, they don't know much about the supplements or herbs, but they should know. And again, you should also declare what kind of medication you are taking when you come to your naturopathic doctor or Ayurvedic doctor, because there can be interference sometimes. So very, very important is a sleep hygiene. What is sleep hygiene? Sleep hygiene is like, if you want to be athlete and you watch the movies of athletes, and without doing your activity, exercise, stretching, or all the activity which you need to be the athlete. So if you don't do it, you're not going to be athlete. So if you want to have a good sleep, you have to follow certain rules and regulation of the mother nature and get back to the balance. So number one tip is, you try to keep yourself sync with the mother nature. What that means is, we have a special rhythms which is called biorhythms, and the mother earth has a special rhythm which are called circadian rhythms, and we are actually syncing. So when the sun is going down, we get sleepier. When the sun comes up, we get up. So this is very important to sync with that rhythm. If you don't sync with that rhythm, you're going against that rhythm, you're not helping your body. So a lot of times, especially in today's society, we have overworked, overachieved, and stressed out society. We all have computers these days. We all have these PDAs. And, you might have seen a lot of jokes about it. And there is a family sitting, and 10 people, they have having a family reunion, and everybody has their cell phone in the hand, and everybody is actually looking at the cell phone rather than spending time and talking to each other. So this is exactly what we are doing. We're not connecting to ourselves. So yes, these PDAs, these cell phones, these computers has a amazing benefits for us, but also has a very serious side effects, because they can take you away from reality and may not help you. So I will encourage you to shut off your television, your computers, your even cell phone. My cell phone does not sleep with me. So what that means is I put it in another room because it disturbs your sleep. We all have those messages coming in and out, and we are all connected all over the world. Like in my WhatsApp group, I have the doctors I graduated with, around 100 of them. They are on my group there, and they are back in India, and I'm in here, and they are sending. There is around 100 plus messages a day. Some of them actually most of them I don't read, but some of them are really ridiculous kind of stuff. Some have jokes, some kind of pictures. So you can see, if I have that next to me, and every time it says chump, or even the volume is switched off, but still the light will come on, and sometime that will wake you up. So I want you to do this wonderful sleep hygiene. Take your phone away. Put your computers off by 8 o'clock, by 9 o'clock maximum. And the television should be also shut off by 9 o'clock too, because this stimulate your retina, and the retina will go on producing cortisols. And if we produce cortisols, it will not allow melatonin to come in. And when the melatonin will not come in, you will have a problem sleeping. Avoid sleeping in the daytime. A lot of time, people don't realize that when they're sleeping in the daytime, they are not, especially for insomniac, people who have insomnia. I'm not talking about people, I'm talking about healthy napping. That's okay, perfectly okay. But if you have insomnia, that napping is not good for you, because you are also disturbing that natural rhythm of wake and sleep cycle. And if you have to nap, just don't do more than 15 minutes, which is good, because if you nap more, you might have seen it too, in your personal daily life too, you feel actually more tired when you wake up on a longer nap because you're not feeling very fresh. But if you take a short nap, you actually feel very fresh and very good. So first thing is napping is not good for insomniac. People who has insomnia is not good for them. If you want to have a nap, just take a very short nap. A lot of times, when we go home, we have dinner, and at the dinner, we are discussing some very hot topic, and maybe a Trump, or can be a spouse, or can be a mother-in-law, or can be a bad boss, or a bad employee, or your kid who is misbehaving. So when you talk about those things, you get frustrated, you get angry, you get irritability. When you get irritability, you are triggering epinephrine and non-epinephrine and cortisol. And when you trigger those things, you're not going to sleep. So one rule of thumb which I have put in my house, that we don't talk about anything in the office which has happened in the daytime, at night, at the dinner table. We don't talk about kids who has not done well, or about a relative, who has some stuff going on, some sad stuff. We talk about happy things, but not the sad stuff. So if something, sometime my wife Rekha asked me to, what do you think about it? I says, okay, this is not the time to discuss it. Let's discuss in the morning, because then we have a more kind of time to mull it and get over it, rather than short time. We have a couple hours before we sleep, and we talk about it, and the body get revved up, and you have a problem sleeping. So just talk about some very wonderful thing, and even listen to soft music. One another interesting thing is, there is some studies done on that one too, by the way. Whispering, by the end of the day, don't be loud. Whisper. Many years ago, one autistic kid came to me with his parents, and one of the problem with a lot of these autistic kids has is they don't sleep properly. They have an issue with insomnia, and so I told the parents that they should massage the baby with the specialized oil which we made at the clinic for him. And while you massaging, you whisper very gently, and you say all the kind and gentle word, loving word, because words are power, by the way. When you speak of a good, loving word, we are making a chemical, which we have learned to make chemical, by the way. And that is a soothing to us. When we talk about dirty language, when we talk about abusive language, we are programmed to think and create wrong chemicals. So just to tell you this interesting story. So next time when the parents come, they were so happy and said, Dr. Sodhi, thank you very much. I said, what happened? He said, in the evening when we start massaging our baby and we start whispering, and you might have noticed that when you whisper, the other person will also whisper. He will not say at loud voice. So he started whispering too, and whisper has a very nice tone to create the sleepy atmosphere for it. So very simple tip, but very, very powerful tip. You can also listen to a classical music, or not, very zittery kind of music, which is I'm a Punjabi from India, and Punjabis love bhangra. So I don't want to listen to bhangra at the end of the day. I want to listen to classical Indian music, or you can to listen to Mozart, or something which has a very nice soothing tone and actually relaxes you. Luckily, we have so much stuff available on the internet these days. You can go on Google and you can find some nice soothing music for in the evening. Light, very important. Light, as I said, it interferes in the production of melatonin. So dim the lights at night, and especially before going to bed. So don't have very, very bright lights by the end of the day. And that also applies to your computers and cell phones and all those kind of stuff. So keep that lights very low, and then what you see that you are going to have a better sleep naturally. Another thing which I encourage my patients to do is spend morning and evening outside when the sun is coming up and when the sun is going down. Basically, what we are doing is, remember I talked about the circadian rhythms and the biorhythm. So it syncs So it's like your computer, you syncing with your cell phone or with your master computer. So the sun, moon, Mother Earth is our master computer, and our bodies are kind of our laptops. So you want to sync your laptop to the Mother Nature, so you have to spend time outside. So early morning and evenings are the best time to sync with the Mother Nature. And you see that when you do that, it also promotes natural sleep. Uh, I travel a lot, and I have been previously. I've traveled to India many times, and so one of the problem is when you travel and you have so many time zones, you get insomnia when you reach to a new place, or your sleep habits get kind of roughed up. So one of the things which I do when I am traveling, as soon as I land at that place, I try to look at the sun, and I do a sun gazing. You close your eyes into the sun, and you do for 10 minutes, and 10 minutes in the evening, and 10 minutes in the morning, and your body resets to that orientation immediately. So, we all have that environment in us which can sync and can adapt to the Mother Nature. So, very important to spend more time outside, because this is important for us. In your working areas, try to use as natural lights as you possible. These tube lights, in my clinic, I have the what do you call the full spectrum lights, so they are much better for you to use rather than the fluorescent. Fluorescent actually are bad for us. In poultry, they use a fluorescent light, and what it does, it actually stimulates the pituitary gland so much they can have double layers of eggs. So you can see, that may have some the economical benefit. I don't know what it does to the poor bird there, or what kind of eggs we're getting out of it. But when we are not having that fluorescent light, the egg layers are normal, whatever the normal laying cycle is. So when we are in this, we constantly stimulating our system. Read a book. The book is much better than your PDAs. A lot of time we have these iPads and other PDAs which we can read at night. They also will interfere with your sleep, because they also going to stimulate your retina, and retina will stop the manufacturing of melatonin. So read a book, or have some, listen to gentle music. So those are simple tips. Exercise in the daytime. Don't exercise by the end of the day. I will give you a very interesting example here with one of my patients who came to me, who has a very high blood pressure, and he was diagnosed with malignant hypertension. So malignant hypertension is where the blood pressure is constantly staying higher number, and the like a 200 and 120 and 130 diastolic. And he was put on 4 medications, and none of them was helping him. And somehow he heard about me through his family and came to me. He is a engineer by trade, a architect actually, and has a very high profile job. So I was just asking him, and his diet is perfect. He's eating lots of vegetables. He's eating good fruit. He's eating nuts and seeds, which is I usually preach. And I asked about the exercise. Yes, I do exercise. And they said, what is going on there? What is the problem? So then all of a sudden I asked him, what time you go for exercise? He says, midnight. So midnight. You go to exercise, and how long you exercise? 1.5 hours. So what he does, he after his dinner and the stuff he do, he's done with it, and then he around 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock he hits the gym, and then he work out for 1 to 2 hours, 1.5 hours, and then come home and try to sleep, and he has a hard time sleeping. So I asked him, this is stop doing that. That's not the best practice. This is you're going against your natural rhythm. And when you're going to go against your natural rhythm, your body will make a lot of zittery molecules, which one of them is cortisol, another is epinephrine, and you will have high blood pressure. Listen to this one. In just 2 weeks, when he stopped going to exercise in the middle of the night, and he started doing exercise in the morning and in the evening, his blood pressure came to normal. So you can see the exercise is good, But timing is very important. If you exercise vigorously by the end of the day or in the late night, you are not going to have a good sleep. But walking is a good, after dinner, get a nice stroll, especially in summer days. We cannot do it in winter days here in Seattle, as you know, it's dark and rainy. But these days we enjoying the walks in the evening. So usually after the dinner, we go out and we had around 30 to 40 minutes of gentle walk. The walk after any food should be gentle. It should not be vigorous walk. Although I encourage people to walk with the intervals, which means you walk around 3 miles per hour and you boost your walking to around 4.5 to 5 miles per hour speed, 1 minute each. Those are really have phenomenal health benefit, but not at night. At night, you should be gentle walking. Caffeine. Caffeine is a poison for you when you comes to sleep, and it's very habitual. A lot of time when you go to a restaurant, eat food, and by the end of the food, it says, okay, you want coffee or tea? And both are going to disturb your sleep. So just I think few days ago, one of my family member got me some green tea, and I make a cup of green tea at 8 o'clock and drank it. And, it was interesting because I love green tea and I drink a lot of green tea, but in the daytime. And my last green tea is around 4 o'clock. But that green tea did not allow me to sleep up to 1 o'clock. And I could not understand what's going on with me. My brain was constantly kind of, racing, and I was tossing and turning in the bed. And the next day I realized, oh my God, I drank that green tea. Although funny it may sound, the green tea has less caffeine than the black tea, around 1.5 times less. And the caffeine in the coffee is around 5 times of the green tea. So when you're drinking coffee or even taking chocolate, that also has a similar kind of effect. So you can get these stimulants, and that will interfere with the sleep. Smoking, nicotine also interferes with the sleep too. Avoid huge meals at night. So if you're eating huge meals, you are going to have a reflux. You are going to have an issue because there's too much stuff in there, and your body has a hard time digesting it. Alcohol. A lot of time, people take alcohol to sleep. Yes, you will fall sleep okay, but then after some time you will get up again. And so you will miss the rapid eye movement, the REM sleep, and the delta waves, which comes in the REM cycle. And that will also interfere with you, and you will not have a good quality sleep. So alcohol is not the best one. And a lot of time, people say 1 glass of wine at night on a daily basis, which is less, but most of people take more than 1 glass. But even that can interfere with your sleep pattern, and especially if you have insomnia. And bad news for the female, especially if you take your 1 glass of wine a day, your chances of getting breast cancer increases many fold. And even if you take 1 glass a week, still chances of getting breast cancer increases manyfold. Even for the guys out there too, your blood pressure will go up too. So a lot of times, you need to look at it that wine may not be best for you. Yes, I'm not against it, but here and there you can use it. But on a regular basis, and especially if a health concern. I remember one of my Italian patient, and he has high blood pressure, and he works as a mechanic, as a machinist, and works on those big machines, and has a high blood pressure, and he was on 3 medications for blood pressure. Came to me, and we're talking about all the food changes, what you need to make, what kind of lifestyle you need to have. We gave some herbs. We were able to wean him off the drugs, and then we only able to maintain on Carditone, but he still loved his wine. And blood pressure will shoot up and down, up and down. And so, we talked to said, hey, I think this is your wine. I said, no, I'm Italians. We when we are born, our mothers puts wine in our mouth. This is what he said to me. I said, no, that's not. I don't think that what should be done. But I believe the wine is causing a problem. So he said, Dr. Sodhi, if you say so, I'm going to stop it. But it took me around 3+ years to really persuade him to stop that wine. And he did it. Guess what? His blood pressure started to be 110 or 70. He didn't need any supplements either. Wow. Isn't that amazing? And now he comes once a year or sometimes twice a year. And he's so happy. He said, Dr. Sodhi, I laid off the wine. It was not worth it because I was disturbing my blood pressure and it was cause other problems and the sleep issues too. So you can see the alcohol can be a big culprit here. There are foods which will help you to sleep better. And one of them are nuts and seeds, walnuts, almonds, pecans, poppy seeds, pumpkin seeds. These all have a very good amount of amino acids, and which actually helps to trigger serotonin and then melatonin naturally. Very common Indian recipe for insomnia and Ayurvedic recipe is you soak these different seeds overnight and you put in a blender, and then you churn it, and you can add a little honey or a little bit of ginger in it and saffron in it and blend it up. Like you speak, take a half cup of nuts and seeds, and then you are putting around 1 cup of water in it. And if you soak it overnight, that's good. If you not, that's okay too. Now, because we have a very high powered these blenders right now, like Vitamix type of stuff, and you make a smoothie and you drink a little lukewarm, and it promotes natural sleep. So this is another way of getting your good sleep and without getting addicted to the drugs. Lettuce, by the way, people don't realize it. Eating lettuce in the dinner time in salad can help because it contains a special compound called lactucarium. It's a little tongue twister. It's lactucarium, lactucarium, and which has a sedative effect. And especially in summer days, you can take salads at night. And Ayurvedically, they discourage it. But I think why they discourage it, because people don't chew properly. If you chew your food properly, I think you can handle it more better. Similarly, for lettuce, to chew it properly, and you will see that you will get good sleep. And it is also cooling property too. So another thing which is good for the insomnia, because if you're hot, because you might have noticed that when the hot weather comes in, we have more issue with the sleep. Taking carbohydrate like rice or oatmeal or whole wheat, they all promote natural production of serotonin and makes you sleepy. Fish is another good way of promoting good sleep, like salmon and halibut, tuna. They are also high in vitamin B6. And the other foods are like nuts, which is also high in vitamin B6. So vitamin B6 helps the body to produce melatonin and serotonin. So we are helping the process right there. So you look at the whole food again. So it's not like, one thing will be good. Another thing which you can do is a cherry juice, especially tart cherry juice. And tart cherry juice has shown that it actually helps with the improvement of insomnia. And it's available. And again, I think if you get unsweetened one, and if you want to make it sweeter, you can put honey. Honey is also natural sleep promoter too, by the way. So you can have these food in your daily routine and can get a good sleep. Chamomile is a very non-toxic method of promoting good sleep. Passion fruit tea, again, there is a studies available on chamomile. What it does, it increases a amino acid called glycine. Sometimes glycine is also given for sleep promotion too, by the way, and it relaxes your nerves, relaxes your muscles, and has a sedative effect. Honey is another good method of promoting some good sleep. And so you can see that we have lots of tools in your hand. Eat healthy. We didn't get a chance to talk about yoga and breathing exercise. There's tons of studies available. Breathing is an amazing exercise to help the sleeping. So folks, follow these tools, and I think you will have a wonderful restful sleep and enjoy until rest of the week. We'll talk to you next week.